Hello, I'm Adam Bissell, the Faith Formation Director at Emmanuel Lutheran Church in Prescott Valley, Arizona. Welcome to this third in a line of productions that we have made of home-based videos. Christmas a year ago, and then Easter, and now Christmas again. Due to the pandemic, what we do is we have a pageant, a holiday pageant, and we ask families to video themselves at home, creating their own sets, their own costumes, their own interpretations of these plays. And then we edit those together and produce a little video for you to watch in the comfort of your home. The link will, of course, be on the Emmanuel Lutheran YouTube channel. And so for years to come, you can go back and check these out. But we want to welcome you to, here we are, December of 2021, and to a play that our own pastor Tricia has written, just a brief play about the nativity, the coming of the light of Christ into our world. Well, in the New Testament, we do observe 4 different Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, that provide for us a lens at different angles of looking at the life of Christ from different people. And it provides us a unique way to kind of get a different take on even the birth narrative of how Jesus came to live among us. And so in this following video, we have 4 families who are providing for us their presentation of the birth of Jesus Christ. And using modern technology, again, during this time of the pandemic, these families are representing what it means to be faithful in the midst of difficult times. The COVID-19 pandemic, I think we all thought that we'd be over it by now, that we'd be seeing the light of day, and that we'd be coming to the end. And many are experiencing what we call COVID fatigue, as we continue to talk about the need for vaccines and wearing masks and socially staying, in your homes. And it's just a difficult time. And so these 4 families have said, we're going to continue to provide and lift up the message of hope. In John chapter 1, what we read about is a light coming in, and a light that is so powerful and strong that this light overcomes the darkness. And if we look at right now, this time that we're living through is definitely a time of darkness. We don't know when it's going to be over. People are still getting sick. People are still dying. And so we really need that light, don't we? And we read about, in the other stories from the other Gospels, those who were following a star over Bethlehem to discover this Messiah, this Son of God, this messenger of peace. And again, when do you see the stars? At nighttime. And so I imagine these people who are traveling and coming and looking for this Christ child are traveling at night, following the stars, and maybe sleeping during the day. What we call they're on the night shift. And I can't imagine what it would be like to travel in the desert in the Middle East, following some kind of planetary rotation, some kind of stars that are aligned at nighttime. But this is the kind of light that we need on our path, isn't it? A light that would shine down upon the road ahead. And this eternal light that is always there for us in the midst of suffering, in the midst of trials, this light that brings eternal peace and joy. Indeed, as we stumble our way through this pandemic, this Christmas season offers an opportunity for us to rediscover that light. As I drive around my own neighborhood, I really think that this year people have gone to town, as we say. A lot of people are decorating more than I've ever seen. Lights on houses. And then when I went to get a Christmas tree, the trees were practically sold out in all the stores. think people this year have really needed that light in their lights, in their homes and in their yards. And to me, those lights are shining out in the darkness, saying, "Darkness, you will not overcome us." We grab on, we hold on, and we reflect that light. As Jesus came to us as a baby, himself born into a world of turmoil, under Roman tyranny, the Israelites struggling, hoping, seeking, wanting, waiting for a Messiah, someone to save them from this season of trouble. And Jesus comes among them, born as a baby, a child of hope, a child that promises a future, and not just an earthly future, but a heavenly, eternal future. Well, my prayer is that we would, in these moments, as we watch this little play, as we gather in our homes for Christmas, as we celebrate Christmas Eve together at church and online, whatever people are comfortable doing, that we would find again and rediscover that light that has come into the world, that overcomes all darkness. I want to offer special thanks to Jean Fougner for inviting and having our choir and our bells participate in the music of this production. And of course, thank you to our wonderful Kimberly, who edits these together and makes them look great for these home-based pageants. And of course, my prayer, coming from the great story of the Christmas Carol, may God bless us, everyone, here and around the world, that we would discover the light of Christ as humankind. And as we receive that light, that we would then reflect that light to others heading into 2022. Merry Christmas from our family to yours.
It's that time of year again, isn't it? See down there, that church is practicing their Christmas pageant. I always love to see those little angels. Not too much like us, the real thing, but they are still awfully cute. Let's hang around and watch for a while. Remember in Isaiah, the Bible talks about the prophecies? A child born for all people, the gift of a son for all people. He's going to take over the running of the whole world, and his name will be Amazing Counselor, Strong God, Eternal Father, Prince of Wholeness. His ruling authority will grow, and there'll be no limits to the wholeness he brings. Here comes Joseph and Mary. Mary was due to have a baby at any time. The angel Gabriel told Mary she had nothing to fear. God had a surprise for her. The Holy Spirit would come upon her, and she would become pregnant and give birth to a son and call his name Jesus. They had to go to Bethlehem to be counted, but when they got there, all the nice places to stay were full up. So they stayed in a stable, and Jesus was born and wrapped in a blanket and laid in a manger to keep him warm.
Stars in the bright sky. Remember those shepherds? They were watching their sheep when an angel showed up and the glory of the Lord blazed around them. I love that part. The angel told them not to be afraid either, that he was here to announce a great and joyful event for everybody in the world. A Savior had just been born in the city of David, a Savior who is Messiah and Master. They were to look for a baby wrapped in a blanket and lying in a manger. Then a whole crowd of angels showed up and sang one of our favorite songs. After this, the shepherds talked it over and decided to go to Bethlehem and see for themselves what God had revealed to them. They went and found Mary and Joseph and baby, shared what they had heard from the angels, and everyone who had heard was really impressed. The shepherds returned and told the story to all they saw. It had turned out exactly the way they'd been told.
In the meantime, a group of scholars came to Jerusalem, inquiring where the newborn king of the Jews might be, because they had seen a star in the east that signaled his birth. They wanted to pay homage to the king and worship him.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder lights the traveler in the dark. Though I know not what you are, twinkle, twinkle, little star. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
Herod heard the scholars were in town, and was terrified. He asked his high priests and religious scholars where this Messiah was to be born, and was told the prophecy about Bethlehem. Herod met with the scholars from the east, we call them wise people today, and told them to find the child and then send word back so he could worship the Messiah as well. By following the star, they found the baby and brought gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
The wise people were warned in a dream not to tell Herod where the baby was, and they left the territory without being seen and returned to their own country. I never get tired of hearing this story. I think this pageant was pretty good. It's important that we share the story of Jesus' birth with the whole world. It's the whole reason we celebrate Christmas, right? I hope the church always remembers to share the story over the hills and everywhere.